All right, let's dive into one of Robert Frost's shortest poems, Dust of Snow. Now, it's only 8 lines long, but believe me, it packs a surprising punch about how the smallest moments in nature can completely change our day.
Seriously, think about it for a second. You're having one of those days where everything just feels wrong, and then something tiny, something you'd barely even notice, happens and just flips a switch in your head. Well, hold on to that feeling, because that's exactly what this poem is all about.
So, to really get the poem's impact, we have to start where the narrator does. And, well, he's in a pretty bad place. His day is, for all intents and purposes, completely ruined.
He's not just in a bad mood. The poem uses this really powerful word. He had rued the day. Now, to rue something means you bitterly regret it. So we're not talking about a small annoyance here. We're talking about a day filled with some serious gloom.
And then, out of nowhere, something happens. But it's not some big, dramatic, life-changing event. Nope, it's just a tiny, unexpected interruption from the world outside. And Frost builds this moment for us piece by piece. It all starts so simply, with just an observation. The way a crow,
And the action is very direct. It's personal. Shook down on me.
And what did it shake down? The dust of snow. Notice that. Not a heavy clump, but something light, fine, almost delicate.
From a hemlock tree. And there it is. The scene is set. A crow in a hemlock tree shakes a fine powder of snow down onto our narrator. But the choice of a hemlock tree, a poisonous plant, that adds this really fascinating ironic twist that, we're definitely going to come back to.
So what's the big deal? What happens after this little blink-and-you'll-miss-it event? Well, this is the thing. It triggers a massive emotional shift. In an instant, everything changes.
And the contrast is just, wow, it's stark. Before this moment, the day was a total write-off, something he rued. But after, he feels it has saved a part of it. He goes from total regret to this feeling of redemption. The day isn't a lost cause after all.
And the change is immediate. There's no thinking it over, no slow process. It's instantaneous. The power of this one simple moment with nature just snaps him right out of his funk, It kind of makes his own bad mood feel a little smaller, a little less important.
But why? Why did this specific moment have such a powerful effect? Okay, this is where we get into the real genius of the poem. It's not just about a little bit of snow. It's about the very specific messengers that brought it to him.
think about it. Robert Frost could have picked any bird, right? A beautiful robin, maybe a sparrow, or a majestic tree like an oak. But he didn't. He chose a crow and a hemlock tree. Why on earth would he pick 2 symbols that are almost always seen as, well, negative?
So first up, the crow. In stories and folklore, when a crow shows up, it's almost never a good sign. It's usually an omen of doom, of fear, sometimes even death. It's this dark, kind of foreboding creature.
And then you've got the hemlock tree. And this isn't just any old pine tree. Hemlock is famously poisonous. It's the poison that was used to execute Socrates. So it's literally a symbol of death.
So, here's the brilliant part. Frost takes 2 of the most negative symbols he can find in nature, a bird of doom and a tree of poison, and he uses them to deliver a moment of pure, simple joy. That is the poem's incredible irony. He's showing us that happiness, that change, can come from the most unexpected and maybe even the darkest of places.
And this clever use of irony? That's Robert Frost all over. We tend to think of him as this simple poet, writing about farms and snowy woods, but he was actually a deeply modern poet.
This tiny poem is just a perfect example of that modern touch. The language feels real, like how people actually talk. It's got these layers of irony. And most important, it's a psychologically complex little portrait. This isn't just a scene from nature. It's a tiny drama playing out inside someone's head.
So, what's the big takeaway? The poem leaves us with this powerful, really universal message about nature. It shows us how these simple, unpredictable moments can just pull us out of our own heads and save a part of our day, exactly when we need it most.
So the next time you're having one of those days you feel like you've rued, maybe just look around for that unexpected interruption. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What small, seemingly insignificant moment could be your dust of snow?